Hello, and welcome back. Jay Nova here with another review, and this time it's Transformers G1 Awakening for many platforms of cell phone devices, iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, and whatnot, or just your typical cell phone that can run Java. G1 Awakening is actually a really breath of fresh air of actually getting a G1 game with the characters and things like that. The thing is that it's a strategy game, which I do find, and after playing this game for a while and beating it and going through all the different modes and such, it really spurred a strategy type of run in me, you know? Going back and playing Shining Force, not really Fire Emblem, not a big Fire Emblem fan. The only thing I think Sega ever outdid on Nintendo was the strategy games. Because, you know, Shining Force blows Fire Emblem out of the water. My personal opinion, of course. But now back to the game. G1 Awakening is a cell phone game produced and developed by Glue Entertainment or Productions, or whatever acronym they put at the end of their company name, Glue, G-L-U. Because bad literacy is cool. But Glue's also made some other handheld games that you'll probably not remember. I'm pretty sure they did the God of War one. Though they did Transformers 1 and 2, the movie versions, which are just basically just run-in gunners. Here, it's a strategy game, which is kind of neat. Which all strategy games, this doesn't have any RPG elements, like you don't level up every time you kill a character or beat him or defeated him or whatnot. They all stay who they are from the beginning to the end of the game. Probably the benefits while playing through story mode, you get new characters and new situations, and you get to play with them for a little while. It's a strategy game, it's grid based, so it's just like every other strategy game. It's a glorified version of chess tweaked in different ways. I said before, you do not get experience. Oh my god. But it does give you a really cool stat system. You know, when you got Transformers toys and on the box it gave you their stats, their tech specs, you know. And here they actually do something with that and create it, and they somehow equate that into the battle system, which I think is really cool. Like Megatron's speed is like really low, so he moves only one square at a time, though he has range firing and he does insane damage with his blaster. His fusion cannon, sorry. And you know, some characters move faster, slower, characters' ability fly, and transformation does come occurrence in here. If you want to go farther on the board, you transform and you go to that area. The problem is, in your own turn, you can't transform back to robot mode. Next turn, then you transform, then you attack. Though you can stay in robot mode, though you do move a lot slower. So it's kind of cool how they interplay that into the mechanic of the game. So that's really neat. And I'm just going to go over some of the modes they had here. Story mode, which follows loosely the story of probably Season 1 and 2. And, you know, in between the 20-year gap, because there is some continuity inconsistencies, like there is Metroplex and Trypticon there, but they're used as a purpose as bases, and for you summoning more troops while using Energon. Energon is a great commodity in here, as it's used to summon troops. Like, say, if you want Optimus Prime, you have to have 25 Energon cubes. If you have to summon Bumblebee, you use 10 Energon cubes, or stuff like that. And, you know, yeah. And there's Showdown after you beat story mode. Showdown is very much gimmicks modes. It's kind of like Blaster versus Soundwave. Or just very kind of gimmicky type things, you know. Things that endured in the show, kind of cool matchups, Starscream versus Skyfire, but he's called Jetfire in here. Though the neat thing about Jetfire, they do give him his show accurate. They're not toy accurate, but you know. There's Cybertron Arena, which is just multiplayer mode. It gives you 4 random units, and you go to town with it. The storyline, I said before, falls loosely, and I'm going to tell you the characters they put in here. And I'm happy they put some in here, and other ones I'm like, what the hell? Why would you put him in here? Though I am quite disappointed with some of their picks. Some other picks I'm quite happy with, and here they are. Bumblebee in here, like what they do is I think his original tech specs was his firepower was 1, but here he's actually competent than just a pansy that he is in the TV show, which, you know, Ravage can kick the crap out of him. Then we got Ratchet, probably one of the biggest great commodities in here. He can turn Energon into health points for you, and he's the only healer on your game, and he's on the Autobot side. I think that greatly imbalances the gameplay, because Decepticons are outnumbered. Let's see here, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're outnumbered by 5 by the Autobots, and they plus have a healer, so, you know, what the hell, you know. I think that's really unfair. Yeah, Bumblebee, Ratchet, Metroplex acts as your base at so many characters. Optimus Prime gives bonuses. Like, each character is not just a clean slate with stats and has different numbers. They also give character bonuses. Optimus Prime, when the characters are adjacent to him, you can give 10% attack bonus. So I think that's kind of cool. Another thing, like, say if you have a character in the center and there's 2 characters to your up and side to you, that gives a 25% bonus to the enemy. So, you know, when you flank a character, it gives them 25% bonus. So if you have a guy all the way around, if you have 4 guys around one guy, that's 100% or 75% bonus. So I just think that's insane. And next we have Blaster. He has a great ability. He's a pansy in all regards. And though the characters that transform in inanimate objects, like say tape deck, gun, they don't transform in this game. I find that quite a shame. Though he can use his tape decks and eject them, but you have to have a certain number of Energon. You can eject and rewind. Next character is Ironhide, which this character model is pretty good, though a sad thing they did, they just repainted Ratchet and they didn't give him his like Mohawk armor thing. The great thing about Ironhide, he has great defense, great attack, and he has this cool gimmick that he has a 50% chance of a not hit, so it could be a 0 or whatever that attack is, so he's quite of a wild card. The next is Grimlock. You get Grimlock near the end of the game, though fuck, he does damage, it's ridiculous. Sad thing, he can't transform, he's always in his dinosaur form, though kind of a bummer because in his robot form Grimlock can fly, so I think that's kind of a cool reversal type thing, you know. That his alternate mode is animal mode, or dinosaur mode is his main powerful mode, so I think that's kind of a cool kind of thing what they do with the Dinobots. He's the only Dinobot, but he does the most damage in the game. Then we have Smokescreen. Smokescreen just a blank slate. I find he doesn't do anything really great. He's just a very non-existent character, doesn't do that much great things. He's just generic overall. Prowl's neat. He's a range fighter. Great thing about range fighters, they can attack up to 3 squares, but the problem is they can't attack the 1 square in front of them, so that gives him vulnerable. He can't re-attack, so I thought that was a bullshit design. Then we have Jetfire. Jetfire does a lot of damage. He has shitty defense, though. He can fly around, you can go all over the grid, but you can't transform, let's say, in mid-air. Of course, we got the real twins, Sunstreaker and Sideswipe. Sunstreaker can shoot close range, Sideswipe far range, and Sunstreaker is the fastest character in the whole game with his vehicle mode. Now we go to the Decepticons. Megatron. Megatron is, as I said before, he can't transform into a gun mode, bummer, but he can move 1 space at a time, though he does insane damage. He can attack up to, I think, 2 squares with his fusion cannon. Moving on to Megatron. Of course, he also does the same thing as Optimus. He does give a 10% bonus to all of his comrades. Then we have Starscream. Starscream is just the same thing as, let's say, other characters. He's just stronger than Skywarp and Thundercracker, but generically still the same. Then we have Trypticon. Trypticon is, of course, the base, and he does insane damage, and he has probably the highest defense. You don't want to fight him. The only thing that can stand up to him is Metroplex and Grimlock alone, because you need a lot of luck to take him down. I said about Skywarp and Thundercracker, just weaker versions and recolors of Starscream. Then we have up to Soundwave. Soundwave is neat. Soundwave is decent defense, decent attack. He can eject Frenzy and Rumble, and in this game they do have Frenzy as purple and Rumble as red, like the toy version, but I always like my Rumble purple or blue or whatever the fuck they color him. And we probably have the best Decepticon in the game. Shockwave. Shockwave is just ridiculously powerful. It kind of feels like it's based off more of the comics. He cannot transform, neither can Soundwave or the non-vehicle Transformers, which is a missing chance, but it did a lot for what you would expect from a cell phone game, you know. Shockwave does ridiculous damage. He's great. He's the final boss of the game. And yeah, other nitpicks, they kind of flubbed on Grimlock's origin. You know, it was Wheeljack who made him. Wheeljack and Ratchet. Characters I wish that were in here: Wheeljack, Jazz, probably some more of the mini robots like Cliffjumper and whatnot. But hey, this was pretty good first attempt for a game, G1 game. And hell, I had lots of fun. I say you pick it up. It's dirt cheap on an app, you know, get on your phone. I say get it if you're a G1 fan, you'll like it. Thought it was a lot more accessible than any other game I've had at this time. And yeah, I had lots of fun with it. And yeah, yeah, pick it up. G1 Awakening by Glue. Bye.